Good morning, Christy. So glad to see you guys here. We're going to wait a few minutes. We've got some more ladies joining us. So glad you guys are here. This makes me so happy. Welcome to our Women's Mastermind. I'm Sarah Johnson, and I'm so excited that you guys are here. We have some new faces and some longtime friends on this call today. We'll be having more people join us as the call continues, but I want to start on time because that's one of the things that we do. So welcome to our Women's Mastermind Open House. My name is Sarah Johnson, and today we're going to have a fantastic day. I wanted to share with you guys what our agenda is as we're getting started, so you guys can, especially for those new folks, so you guys can know what to expect. I'm going to be sharing a little bit about the purpose of this mastermind, how it was created, the inception behind it, and tell you a little bit about what's going to happen in the next 6 months with this group. And we're going to talk about, I want to have everyone introduce themselves, to share their name, their business, a little bit about them, something memorable about them, so that we can get to know you guys. And then every week we celebrate wins. And so I wanted to tell you guys about the goal so you can be thinking about your wins. We share a personal win and a business win. So you guys can be listening. We'll have the regular members go first so you guys can hear what that's like. But we love to celebrate the wins. And so we're going to do that. And then we're going to dive into a little bit of training about emotional resilience. Every week that we get together, we do a little bit of training, or we do an introduction to a business. So today we're going to be talking about emotional resilience. And then at the end, I'm going to invite you guys to join our group. I'm going to tell you guys about the commitments of time, the commitments of money, and also the opportunities that will be offered. And so I'm going to showcase some videos of some past events that we've done together, and then let some of our current members share their testimonials of what it's like to be in this group. So that is our agenda today. So while you guys are thinking about your own introduction, I'm going to introduce the Women's Mastermind. Recently, I have increased the investment to join this tribe. And I'm really actually excited about that. And I'll share more about that as we move forward. But as we're willing to invest and make a financial commitment, a time commitment, the opportunities that you receive are exponential. And so for those of you who are new to the group or new to this, I'm really excited to share the details with everybody at the end of our call. So that is our introduction. I'm really excited to welcome you guys. I'm going to have you guys introduce yourselves in the order that you are on my screen. I'll introduce myself first as an example so you guys know what to expect. And then after we do introductions, we'll do let's do our wins and our introductions at the same time. I think that'll be a little bit easier. And we'll take about a minute a person, maybe a minute and a half, depending on how things go. So feel free to write down your notes if you want to, or you can go off the fly. My name is Sarah Johnson, co-owner of Jambo John Websites. Jambo means hello in Swahili. So we help people say hello to that virtual watering hole with those new customers on the internet safari. We specialize in copywriting, graphic design, and programming. We also help create a platform that will actually help you grow your business. That's the goal with the Jambo John website. A personal win this week, I was just mentioning this, we just finished planning a trip to Disney World. My daughter is working there this season, and we're going to go visit her. And I'm just absolutely thrilled to no end to get to squeeze my daughter. And then a business win, I am working on closing 14 new referrals that have come in the last 2 weeks. And I presented to an executive board of a new mortgage company yesterday. And this was a huge compliment to me. I presented my proposal, and we're like, yeah, we need it done in 5 weeks. And I was like, super, we need to close this account tomorrow or the next day, or else we can't get it done in 5 weeks. And I went through my little spiel, and the mortgage vice president said to me, he's like, wow, you're really good at closing. That was called a blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I don't know what you just said, but thank you. Let's get started tomorrow. So that's my win for the week. Yay! If you were in a place where you can unmute, celebration energy is really powerful. If you need to be quiet, you're welcome to move your hands. So that's my first celebration for the week. Yay! So introductions. We're going to go with Erin, Maddie, Christy, followed by Taylor, Amy, Laurel, Justice, Christy, and Terry. So Erin, take it away.
Hey everyone, I'm Erin Hart. I live in Utah, in Sandy, Utah. And so I was introduced to this group by Christy Durant. She's my good friend, and it's just been, I've been in this group for the last has it been a year almost, I guess.
I think it's almost a year.
And, so it's been so fun and I love it. So I am a registered nurse. I work at Primary Children's in the NICU, but I had a health journey of my own recently, and I started a health coaching company. So a couple of years ago, I found myself at 284 pounds, and I just felt so sick, and I just felt really powerless against my food and my cravings. So but I found a method that has really helped me, and I lost 125 pounds, and I've kept it off for a year.
That's amazing.
And, so I just felt really called to start my own health coaching company. So I've been doing that, and it's been a year now that I've been in business, and it's just been an exciting adventure because I'm a total accidental entrepreneur, and it's just been a year of learning and growth, and it's been so much fun.
That's so fun, and is hitting consistent $10,000 months since.
Yeah, so that's like really fun and exciting. So
that's awesome.
And my wins today, I have that I just am feeling so much more balanced with my family and my work and my own health. Lately, I've kind of feel like I found that harmony in my life the last couple of weeks, and it just feels so much better. And then also my personal win, I just have really been exercising and getting into that, which has been new for me, and I'm finding my groove there, and it's just been awesome. So I've just made a lot of progress the last couple weeks, and so it feels really good.
That's fantastic. Good job. Way to go, Erin. Woo-hoo! That's awesome. Maddie, you're up.
Okay. Hi, I'm Maddie. I was invited to this call by Sarah, and I'm really excited to be here. I've been kind of looking for a women's group to join, and I haven't found anyone that I really felt like I connected with yet. So this is a big deal for me. I am a VP. Thanks. I'm a VP at a company called Scalability. So we do training and process documentation. And that's like fully customized. We come in and kind of help companies identify their training needs, build processes, and then get them documented so that they can consistently implement them. So that's kind of what we do. I did help found the company, and I did run it for a little bit, but I've actually kind of taken a step back because I found that I am happier in a supporting kind of secondary role than being the primary business leader. So power to those of you who are business leaders. That is hard, and I have a lot of respect for what you do. My personal win. So I bought my first home on Monday, and it is closed and funded. So that was really exciting. And then my business win. So I have been trying to hire this role for my team for about 6 months now. And I finally found the right person. I'm super excited about it. And she started yesterday.
Yay!
So that was my business win.
Oh my gosh, you're getting supported in so many ways. Like having the support of a new home, that's a phenomenal foundation, right, Christy Durant?
Yes.
And then like getting the support you need on your team, that's awesome. Thank you for joining us. I'm so glad you're here, Maddie.
Yeah, so excited to be here.
Yay. So Christy, you're up.
Oh, great. So Maddie will know this process, but I am the knowledge broker who actually makes sure that people aren't homeless when they decide to buy or sell a home, right? And so I work with Coldwell Banker, and just this last, I guess I get to tell you the win, just on the 28th of August, I celebrated my 30th year with Coldwell Banker. So
Yay.
yes,
She started selling when she was 7.
Yeah, I've decided that I am like, when women decide to quit counting their birthdays by the time they're like 29, I'm done. I'm not counting anymore. And it's okay. We're just going to say 30 for the rest of my career. Right?
Woo, yeah, that's awesome.
I love it. Way to go,
Yeah.
Christy.
Yeah. So, and I think the biggest win that I've experienced lately is, and Maddie can attest to this, the market has shifted tremendously. Interest rates have gone through the roof, and we've had to deal with a major change in what we've been doing. And the last couple of years has been crazy and hard, but when a market shifts, that changes everything. And now you have to re-implement and get things started again and do things differently. And it's not that it's just, maybe I didn't have time before to work on my business on my business, because I was just working in it constantly. That's all I was doing, was running. So anyway, but in the last 90 days of the shift, now things look like they're kind of turning for me. And I don't know if I can, is Jeanette on the call?
Jeanette's not on the call today. Nope, but you're welcome there.
Okay. I feel really bad because I was going to tell this I was going to let Jeanette tell, but we got her place under contract.
Yeah.
So, yes. And the craziest thing is that she is so Jeanette is a spiritual, I don't know, what do you call a manifester, right?
Mm-hmm,
I mean, she does coaching, spiritual manifesting, and she wanted to move to Texas. And would you believe that the buyer for her property is coming from Texas?
That's amazing.
Somehow we were able to manifest that. And so, yeah, she's going to be going there. So anyway, that's me. So
that's fantastic. Yay, Christy. Woo! So
that's
exciting.
so cool.
So fun. So that's an example. So Christy's the realtor for Jeanette. So not only is Christy supporting Jeanette and her dreams and goals, but also supporting Christy's business. So that's fantastic. Taylor, we're so glad you're here. You're up.
Thanks so much for inviting me. Happy to be here. Like Maddie, I've been looking for a women's group to join. And so I am super excited to find this group. You guys seem amazing. And I'm already so excited about these wins that I'm hearing. Like, it just makes me so happy. Like, this is how you start a morning. Like I'm here for it. So I am a money coach, a financial coach. So I help people, I think that's the skill set to make money and keep money are two different skill sets. And so I help people keep the money that they work really hard for, just with the implementing habits, behaviors, automations, and kind of learning, systems to do more with your money. So it's a lot of financial education and then psychology of money. It's kind of what I do.
I love it.
Thank you. Personal win is I made pizza dough from scratch this week, and I've never cooked. Like, I don't cook, guys. I do not know how to cook, so this is a big deal for me. It was amazing. It was a deep dish, like thick pizza. Loved it.
Wow, that yeast can be a little fickle. You can't go too hot on your water, or else you'll burn the yeast. That's amazing.
I didn't know that, so good thing we didn't do that.
Right.
I know nothing.
Amazing.
Yeah, business win. I just finalized a new logo and color palette for my business. I haven't done really branding work. I'm a black and white girl. So add some color to the business.
Yay, that's fantastic. So excited that you joined us. And Taylor, I can't wait for you to do training for this group because I would love to learn all your things.
Well, thanks for having me.
Welcome. So glad you're here. Amy's here. So Amy is my business twin. Amy.
Yes.
I'm so glad you're here. You're up.
I am here. So my business is called Hello Story. We help businesses figure out how to talk about what they do. When people say things like, I can watch people's eyes glaze over when I start explaining what I do. That's a messaging problem, and that's what we help solve. And then like Sarah, we also write copy for websites, but I don't build the website. So if you want the full deal, just talk to Sarah. But then if you want the content for like your lead magnet or your blog posts or your sales funnel, you can come talk to me about that because we can do that as well. Let's see. Business win for me this week. Guys, I am almost caught up with my life. I'm counting that as a win.
You guys, you just built a house from scratch. So
not from scratch. We, took it down to the studs and took the roof off and added on the back and yeah, all of that. But we live in it now. I'm not homeless. Christy, like you said, not homeless is being fantastic. And then personal win. This is like a couple weeks ago, but it was like my favorite, and I was reminded of it yesterday. We threw a giant party for my kids. So we were out of our house for like 8 months. We lived in my in-laws, which is a whole nother set of stories. But that whole time, my kids couldn't really have friends over or anything. And so I told them that as soon as we moved back into our house, we'd be able to throw a giant party and they could have all their friends over, except we moved in February. And who wants to have a bajillion children running around their house in February? No one does.
Right.
So then we were going to do it in summer, but then we needed a yard because we didn't have a yard anymore. And so we had to put the yard in. So it was August, 2 weeks after school started, before we could finally have our giant party, which actually worked out awesome because the kids got to like bring invites to school and they literally invited everyone they knew. We had like 60 kids running around the backyard with a bounce house and a slip and slide and cotton candy maker and snow cone maker. I made cotton candy for 4 hours straight. I was covered in it. It was in my eyelashes, like it was everywhere. But it was awesome. The kids loved it. My daughter, our party was Saturday, and on Friday before, she's like, Mom, I think we need to have a new summer tradition. And I was like, oh, what is that? And she's like, we should have this party every year. I was like, let's get through the party first before we decide that. But they had a ton of fun. It was a blast. And I do think it'll be our new summer tradition.
That is so fun. That's amazing. And I'm so excited Amy that was able to come today. We've been working on getting her here for almost a year and a half. So I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for coming. Wow, you're up. Nope. We'll wait. It's okay. It's worth the wait.
How about now?
No, yep.
Okay.
Yay.
I was like, something's not going right. Okay, my name is Laurel Houston. I am the founder of Reflections Inside and Out and the creator of Body Mapping. I work mostly with women who are some entrepreneurs, not always, but they're mostly in burnout. They have been in the personal development world for a while, and they are realizing that some things work and some things just drain their soul, but they've been told to do them anyways, so they're doing them. So I do a lot to help women find the more feminine way to improve their relationship with their body, their money, and with intimacy. So I do this through retreats. I'm a keynote speaker and presenter. I've been presenting for almost 20 years. And when people ask me what I do, I say, I teach people about body, sex, and money. What do you do? And somehow the conversation never continues on their side. They just start asking me questions. So
that means your messaging is spot on.
I love what I do because really the base behind everything I do is help women actually live and create a lifestyle that they really, really enjoy, that they find peace, that they find calm, that they find balance, that they wake up in the morning and they say, what do I get to do today? Instead of, what do I get to do today? Mm-hmm. And it's a really beautiful thing. I love my job.
That is why I had a nap yesterday during my lunch hour, because I was tired before I sold the project to the 6 executives at the mortgage team, by the way. Yeah. That's why.
I'm so glad you listened to your body. That is,
right.
The other thing I tell people a lot is when they're like, so explain to me more, what do you do? I say, well, I teach people how to breathe. I'm a certified trauma-informed breathwork facilitator. And I teach people how to have better sex. And when you love your body and you love yourself, your money automatically increases because it all is stemmed in feeling worthy of it. So I do a lot of, I don't just do mindset. I feel like a person is a mind, a body, and a soul. And so we work on all 3 at the same time. A personal win, my mom and I are 40. She had me at 40. So I turned 41 this year and she turned 81 this year. And last week I took her to Disneyland for her birthday. So I'm
Yay!
one of 7 kids, and we didn't invite any of them. It was just her and I, and we spent 3 days going from park to park, and she had a little scooter, and it was so fun. And all of the cast members were like, "Happy birthday!" And we had matching T-shirts, and it was great because I've never been able to just do something just my mom and I for decades. And so when I invited her, she was like, "Oh, yes." We didn't even invite my dad. It was just my mom and I, and it was fantastic.
That's
my
so
personal
fun.
win.
What a fantastic win. Yay! I love it.
And it was really fun trying to watch my 81-year-old mother learn to drive a scooter. That was just as entertaining as half of the rides.
Right. Oh, sorry. Oh.
I became acutely aware of how many door frames at Disneyland have the exact same notch out of them from people that drive like my mother.
That is so funny. I found out from my daughter, who now is a Disney cast member in Florida, that it is illegal to drive those unless you're 18. So the videos I have of my daughter of her driving around in a choreographed dance in front of Miss Piggy's and like the Muppet Show is actually illegal. So I won't be posting that on. So, fantastic. And what's a business win for you this week, Laurel?
My business win would be one, I hit a, so the quarter doesn't actually end until the end of this month. But at the beginning of September, I hit my 3rd quarter goal. So I'm a month ahead of hitting my goals.
Yay!
So I'm
That's
really excited about that.
That's
so
awesome.
My goal for the end of the year was to hit 700,000, and I'm on track to do that. So I'm super excited.
That's awesome.
And then my retreat that is next week that Sarah will be attending, I got the last Amazon box and opened it today. So I'm super excited because I am so tired of, like, I order so much stuff. It's no longer exciting for me to open boxes. So those are all done and I'm excited about that.
That's awesome.
That's
Yay.
awesome.
So fun.
Well
You guys
done.
want to come hang out with us, because these amazing women are who we do our retreats with, and it is so fun. We did we went to Snow Canyon in the dark and found a cave and did a drum circle at nighttime. It was so fun. It was amazing.
It was life-changing.
It was life-changing. It was so fun. And we smashed things at the Smash House. It was so fun. Justice, you're up. Please introduce yourself.
Okay, well, I apparently logged on under my son's account because I'm not really just.
Okay.
But rather than log all the way out and change it all, that's, I guess, what it's popping up as. So I'm really Tyann, and I'm here through Aaron's invitation. I live in Alaska. By trade, I am a chiropractor, but that's not really what I do. That's not my day job anymore. I mean, it is and it isn't. I have 5 clinics here in Alaska in 3 different towns. And so I spend my day working on my businesses, not in my businesses. I have the clinics. My husband and I have a lot of commercial real estate properties that I manage. And I just opened a salon. That's a whole nother story. So that's the new business venture that's going there. So that's kind of my professional life. I consider myself kind of the wizard of the businesses. And then I have a lot of workhorses that are in place in all the businesses that are kind of boots on the ground.
That's amazing.
And I just go in and kind of work my magic in the different places. And
so fun. So Laurel's asking what part of Alaska. Her husband was born and raised in Palmer.
oh yeah, I'm in Wasilla, just like right next to what's your last name? What's his last name?
Houston. He actually, all of his brothers and sisters still live in Palmer and Wasilla.
So what's his first name then?
Matt Houston, and his older brothers are Jeremy, Stephanie, Tina, and Steve.
Yeah. I babysat them.
Yeah, that's my husband.
No kidding. That is so fun. Okay, it's a really small world. Yeah, Tina and Jimmy are building a house on the same lake that I live on. And Jeremy's in my ward. My son is best friends with his son Tate.
You
and
guys,
so-
I think our next
That
retreat
is
is
so
going to be
funny.
in Alaska. What do you guys think?
yeah.
Summer 2023.
As long as it's the end of July, because that's the only time it's warm there.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
so funny.
Yeah.
That
that's-
is amazing. And funny because we have another guest that's going to be joining us in 2 weeks. She couldn't come today. That's also from Alaska. So I would love to build out our Alaska branch. I think that's a great
there you
idea.
go.
I love
There
that.
you go.
We're so glad you're here, Christy. Share with us a personal win and a business win.
Personal win. I have twins that are on missions right now. My daughter's actually still in the Mexico City MTC. My son just finished there. So it was so fun. They got to overlap in the MTC, which was awesome. And so my son's serving in Mexico and my daughter flies to Uruguay next week. So that's
awesome.
good. And they're our oldest, so they're off kind of starting to launch. I mean, they went to university last year, so they had kind of already left, which was actually very helpful for this
Right.
transition. But so they're doing that. So that's fun. And then a business win is just moving forward with new tenants in the salon and getting things kind of sorted out and in a whole new industry that I know nothing about. So the learning curve has been really steep. But
Laurel was a hairdresser for like
For
25
years.
25 years.
Kidding. Really? Okay. I just learned, hang on, I always have to pause for a second. Balayage. I now know that word and sort of what it means. So I'm getting there.
That's amazing. Do you see like these fun connections already that are building? I love
Now
that.
I need to know what that word means.
It's just free hand painting the hair.
Yes, with a graduation, right, of color.
Yeah.
It's not one solid color. It's a transitional color.
It's the fancy word for ombre.
Mm-hmm.
So it transitions from a light color or from a dark color to a light color. But instead of the whole head, it's just pieces.
There we
That
go.
is
Thank you.
So fun. We could also do hair coloring at a retreat in Alaska, and I'll come home with new colors in our hair.
I'll watch you do it.
Right. Christy, you're up. Christy Hansvik.
Okay, hello. So my name's Chrissy. I'm the owner of Simply Online, and I help my clients, entrepreneurs, usually small business owners, create a forward-facing brand by multiplying their message with content that they're already creating and increasing visibility with their message. I think people spend way too much time creating content. They need to do it, but there are a lot simpler ways to do it. So we have done for you services, we have white label services, and then we build strategy for people around how to repurpose their content. Most often it's taking their weekly video and turning that into blog posts, social media posts, and their newsletter. So our clients give us one video and we create like 12 to 15 assets from the one video. So super fun. We super love it. And business win, I just hired a new writer for my team. She started on Monday, which someone said they had been hiring for a while. I've been looking for the right writer for my team for a while. And I finally found her. So I'm really excited about that. And personal win, I have a kiddo that I love him, but he drives me bonkers. And getting to school, he fights me every day going to school. And I almost thought I was going to have to miss this today because he was refusing to go to school, but I got him there. And that is a really big deal because he fights me
Yay.
this morning, it was for an hour and a half. He fights. And when he fights me, he bites and it sucks. So, but he's at school, so I get to enjoy my day.
Give this mother a round of applause
Yes.
with all the love and support.
So thank you. I know you can probably sympathize with kids not wanting to go to school, but this he's my Everest. So he's there.
I had a friend who had a son who would go and climb on top of her car.
Oh yeah.
On the roof of her car, and sometimes she would have to call the police to be able to
we do
get
that.
her son down off of the car. He runs
away quite often. So we just like the neighbors know, like if you see him run away, just text me what street he's on. It's really a neighborhood effort. It's awesome. But so yeah, so I'm very happy that he's at school. So I can just enjoy my day and work and just hang out with you lovely ladies.
I'm so glad you're here. I mean, what a big deep breath.
Yeah, right.
We're so glad you're here, Christy. I think, and this is really interesting. This is really fun. It's easy to look at businesses and be like, oh, she does the same thing that I do. But as we get to know each other and realize that businesses can complement each other and we're not in
100%.
competition, there's so much business to be had. And really, some of your best referral partners could be somebody that does almost the same thing that you do, but in a bit of a different way. And so it's really powerful to be able to complement each other and see what is different about your businesses so that you can distinguish it, but also support each other.
Yeah. I also feel like we connect with people in different ways too. So even if I did the exact same thing as someone, I will connect with a client or a person in a different way than someone else did. So I 100% agree with you that.
Yeah.
I'm
so
there's enough business.
And all that being said, Christy, you and we need to talk.
Okay.
That's what I was just going to suggest. That's what I was going to suggest. Off of some TJ. Last the best of all the game. You're up. You guys, TJ has purple bangs and she has for like 20 years. It's a little bit hard to see it, but I just wanted everyone to know how cool she is. I'm going to have purple bangs when I get
purple bangs before it was cool. I used to have it framing my face too. It just got to be too much work.
Oh, by the way, before you introduce Laurel and TJ, if you guys haven't connected yet, I introduced you guys over email, but you guys need to connect. I think I did. In my brain, I did. Maybe I didn't. Anyway, TJ, will you introduce us?
Yes. My name's TJ, and I actually changed it to show Terry Joe. So you know me as Terry Joe as well. That's a side of me I'm in the process of healing. So my company's name is Wellness Warrior, and that came into being from I was injured in a car accident, and then I had athletic injuries on either side of that. So I've had a total of 15 surgeries in a very short period of time. And so I had to find my way back to health and healing. And so that's what I do is I help people get out of pain and help bring their bodies back into alignment. My tagline has been, if you're out of alignment in your body, where else in your life are you out of alignment? So I help people create the vessel to be able to, do the things they need to do. A personal, kind of both a personal and a professional win. So this year I participated in a sprint triathlon. And I came in last in the swimming, first in the bicycling, and second to last in the running component. And having shared that with another friend, I was talked into participating in the MS bike ride, and I did 43 miles in 3.5 hours. So
way to go. That's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, also, did you hear she finished all 3 of those events?
Yes, finished.
You're my superstar.
That's amazing.
Totally my superstar already. So
I always wanted to do one, and I thought I'll start out with the sprint ones. And so, funny side note, I was so nervous about the swimming part, and part of the reason I was last is I was so nervous, and we were sharing a lane, and I got lapped 3 times, so I figured I had to do 3 more. So I actually swam 150 more meters than I had to.
Awesome.
Unfortunately, in the bike ride, I injured my hand, and I don't know if you can still see it, but I sprained the collateral ligaments in the digits in my fingers. And part of my what I do is I'm a body worker, so I've had to take some time off and not work as many hours in the process of healing my hands. And so, as a personal win, taking some time off. With COVID and everything, my husband and I weren't able to celebrate our anniversary, and this year was our 32nd anniversary. So he took, and we're currently living in different sides of the world. United States. He's in Kentucky and I'm here in Utah. And he came to Utah. We went to Portland, Oregon, and then I went to Kentucky and we went to Portland, Maine. Always wanted to go to Maine and do the lighthouses. So we were able to do that. And in the time off, I was kind of working on my message, and I love acronyms. And so I feel like, okay, this is not that I will necessarily tell people this, but it'll help me remember that I offer a bitchin' experience and the acronym. It's through breath, intention, touch to bring your body into coherence for health, healing, and happiness to improve your energy and your nutrition.
That's awesome. Memorable. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Then I was able to do some writing. I love anatomy, and right now what I've written is very technical. And so I need to I want to be able to teach at that level, teach other physical therapists. And, it's funny how through our own injuries, we find understanding. And I even found that my injury is something that goes undiagnosed for a very long time, not the hands. I injured my back in a car accident. We were rear-ended 3 weeks after moving to Kentucky. Anyway, so yeah, it led me to do some writing. So it feels really good to get that out of my brain and onto paper. Not that it makes any sense right now, but getting those little ideas out, and then I can work on the organization part. So
that's fantastic. So many things going on. Big round of applause for Terry. You guys, thank you for sharing and for being here. I just love you guys so much. Some of you I know really, really well. Some of you are new friends, and I'm just so grateful that you'd carve out some time today to celebrate this open house with us. So we're going to spend about 5 minutes doing training. Typically on a typical week, what will happen is we do our wins for the week. We always start off with wins and have that celebration energy. And then we take turns doing training. We'll either do a business introduction, and we'll brainstorm for your particular business and be trained to sell and be your sales force. And then on the opposite week of the month, we take turns training, and you get a chance to shine. You can either showcase a book and do kind of a book club style where we're reviewing an author's work or a video that you've watched, or you can showcase your expertise and tell us something and train us in your expertise. It's really fun. So we're going to spend about 5 minutes today talking about resilience. And then the duration of the time, I'm going to spend about 10 minutes talking about the opportunity to join our tribe. So resilience, resilience is a phenomenal skill. It's a phenomenal opportunity to grow. And to introduce this topic of resilience, I want to tell a story about my grandfather. So if you guys know me, if you've known me for any length of time, you know that my grandfather's my hero. If you haven't heard me talk about my grandfather, I want to introduce you to him. His name is David Evans, and he actually invented computer graphics. So any type of computer imagery that you see in today's world actually stemmed from my grandfather. He was an amazing human being. He is more like a father figure to me. And he was an amazing outdoorsman. So he took my Uncle Doug, when my Uncle Doug was 12 years old, he took my Uncle Doug climbing on this rock face. They lived in California at the time. I'm not sure where they were climbing, but it was a really, really steep rock face. And when you're climbing, you have somebody that's climbing, and then you have somebody that's belaying or holding the ropes to make sure that the ropes stay in the location that they're supposed to and hold the weight as the climber is ascending. So my grandfather is climbing, and my uncle is belaying. He's 12. So he's maybe 100 pounds, maybe plus or minus a few. And my grandfather looks up and he notices two teenager boys who are connected to each other, but they're not connected to the rock. And they're like husky teenagers, and they're probably 20 feet ahead of them. So down is about 150 feet, up is about 20 feet. And my grandfather notices that one of the teenagers slips off the rock. And he knows that the one teenager is falling. In about 3 seconds, the other teenager is going to fall as well, and both of them are going to fall. So my grandfather tells Doug, he says, "Doug, hold on." He's the anchor. And my grandfather swings out and grabs one of the boys. And then in a few seconds later, the other boy falls too. My grandfather saves these kids' lives. And my grandfather didn't think that the kids understood how much danger they were in, obviously, or they would have been more prepared, right? But the thing that I love about the story is that my grandfather was brilliant at trusting people. He took me on a 12-mile hike when I was 7. And I did it. It was really hard, but he trusted people to show up, and he trusted my uncle, and my uncle was able to have the resilience to anchor in and to be that foundation for this moment of safety. And that really, for me, is the definition of resilience, is that you have the strength in your doing to withstand the challenges and the opportunities and the growth that happens. So I wanted to share 2 techniques that I have learned about resilience. These are techniques that I've learned recently that I've been practicing. I think that, and we have so many women here who are experts in this field, some of whom I have personally learned from, and I'm excited to learn from you, that know more about this topic than I do, and I'm excited to share what I know. So when we are faced with challenges, when our body is in stress, we go into fight or flight. And I think that fight or flight tends to get a really bad rap. It is perceived as a very negative thing, especially in our language today. But there's something that I learned recently that actually has really helped me change my thoughts about fight or flight. When you go into fight or flight, you'll notice like your heart is beating faster, your breath is coming in really fast. All of the blood in your body goes to your major muscle systems. Your eyes are able to focus to look for danger. And so in a prolonged state in our culture, it tends to be damaging to be in that state of prolonged stress. But the intention of fight or flight by our creator is actually to help empower us to defeat our foes. So one little phrase that I've learned that I absolutely love is that when I'm in fight or flight, my body is actually turning into a superhero. If you think about Marvel and you've got Iron Man, and if he goes into fight or flight, his suit, and all of a sudden he has all this extra access to power, to strength, to muscles, to focus, to energy. He now is a superhero, right? So our bodies are actually turning us into a superhero. We can run faster, we can see more clearly, we have more oxygen running through our system so that we can power those major muscle groups. And so rather than being like, oh my gosh, I'm in fight or flight, I'm dying, one little phrase that I say is that I rise to the challenge. That recognize that when I'm in a stress state, rather than thinking of it as a negative thing, tweaking my mindset, because I can't overrun my amygdala. The amygdala is actually in charge of everything, right? It's the bouncer, it's the bodyguard to our whole system if we are scared of something, whether that's an emotional trauma or a physical trauma. But we can shift how we think about that experience. So I rise to the challenge. And isn't that empowering? That's something you could teach to your kids, to say, you know what, when you're feeling stressed out, when you're feeling your heart palpitate, when you're doing breathing faster than you expected, your body is turning into a superhero. So I actually have that on my goal poster this year. I rise to the challenge. It's super easy to remember. And then in order to come out of fight or flight, in order to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is opposite of fight or flight, breathing is the way we regain our cognitive function, right, Laurel? And I'm sure you will be blessed and gifted with breathing techniques from Laurel. One that I learned recently is called 7-11 breathing, and it was created by an emergency room doctor who wanted to come into emergency situations grounded and present. And so what he did is he practiced this, where you breathe in 7, you breathe out 11, and you do it 10 times. So you breathe in 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And you repeat that 10 times. And what he found is, spending 2 minutes, 3 minutes a day doing 7-11 breathing trained his nervous system and trained his brain to recalibrate into a place of safety. Rather than fight or flight, the opposite of that is rest and digest. In order to digest and process, we have to be resting. And so that process, 7-11 breathing, can help retrain your nervous system and help you come into a state of calm and control. So that is my tip for today. My resiliency tip for today is I rise to the challenge and 7-Eleven breathing. And you'll notice if you spend 2 minutes a day just practicing. And the other thing too is because you have to count so much when you're doing 7-Eleven breathing, I use my fingers to count the 10, and then I use my voice to count the 7 and the 11. Your amygdala, which is the fight or flight response in your brain, gets distracted and can't think because it's distracted by the numbers, so that your body can calm down. It's like super brilliant. Okay, so I wanted to share a little bit more about our Women's Mastermind, what to expect, what the time commitment is. I wanted to share what our financial commitment is, and then to share a few things that have happened as a result of networking with powerful, powerful people. First off, we meet twice a month on Zoom. It's the second and fourth Wednesday from 9 until 10. Sometimes we go over. Some people like to open up their schedule just a little bit so that we can make room. We will end on time today because I want to honor your commitments, but we meet twice a month. On one of the meetings every month, we will choose a business leader to highlight their business. So for example, if it were Erin's time to present her business, she'd be giving 15 minutes, kind of like at Connect Share, for those of you who are familiar with Connect Share, to tell us about herself and her family, her interests, teach us about her business, her services, her products. And then she has time to teach us how to sell for her, because now we are her sales team. And then we have 15 minutes where you have the opportunity of the mastermind, where you say, hey, this is what I'm struggling with. This is what I'm looking for solutions on. And then we brainstorm, hey, I have so-and-so that I can introduce you to. You're looking to connect with chiropractors? I have a new friend in Alaska I want to introduce you to. So that you have 30 minutes, 15 to present, 30 minutes to receive that support. The second meeting of the month, which is on the fourth Wednesday of the month, we take turns presenting. And so this topic about resilience was a very short version, but we'll have somebody that's in charge of that meeting. They get to decide, preferably in your expertise, but you can lead a fantastic book that you've been studying or a topic you've been learning about, and you can present and teach to us. And then we open up the floor and actually talk about it and discuss it and brainstorm and share thoughts and feelings about it. So those are the meetings that we have set every month. Now, the other opportunity is 2 retreats a year. This is where the magic happens. The retreats are not about sitting in a classroom for 12 hours a day. It's not a conference, but we do really, really fun activities. We've done axe throwing, we've done Smash House, we've done drum circle at Snow Canyon. We've made sterling silver jewelry. We've gone to museums. We've eaten delicious food. And then what we do is we have workshops and we do hot seats, where you say, okay, this is my goal for the year. And this is what I'm up against. And that is the value where you would spend $20,000 hiring Laurel to be your personal coach. Because you're in the mastermind, you get that transformation at the retreat in this amazing setting. We're doing personal development, we're doing energy work, we're doing psychological and self-development work. And then we're talking about CRM systems, and we're talking about sales funnels, and we're talking about logistical things on how to run your business. We're talking about pricing and when is it appropriate to raise your prices and what demographics are you going after. So it's not only like a business development, but we're doing the mental personal development behind it. It's so fun. So our next retreat is in November, and I have 3 spots open for new members. If anybody wants to join into our next retreat, I have 3 more spots available for that. And then if that retreat doesn't work for you, we meet in the spring and April, and we meet in November. So that's available as well. Here's the thing, as you ladies know, if you are in a networking group, the benefit you receive personally and financially is in direct correlation to the amount of effort and the investment you put into anything. And so the beautiful thing and the invitation that I would give to you ladies is to reach out and meet with each other one-on-one. I'm so excited. Taylor and I are going to breakfast on Friday morning, right? Spending time over Zoom or to meeting each other or having phone calls. If you have questions, there's this whole group of people that's available to support you when you have those questions. And that's the real amazing thing about it. Okay, so a couple of quick stories. I had a friend, her name is Melissa Inouye. She's a Harvard graduate historian, and she has alopecia, so she's bald and she's Asian. She's the coolest lady I know. And she calls me and she says, Sarah, I have some friends that are in Salt Lake who are from Afghanistan who are trying to get their families out before the US borders closed a year ago. And she said, who do you know? Because she knows that I'm connected to a lot of business leaders. And I said, let's make a video. So we filmed the video. My daughter Anna edited it. And then I started calling my network. Within about 24 hours, I was in touch with several veterans who are really high up. I called another contact of mine and said, I need to get this video into Mitt Romney's and Mike Lee's hands. And he said, I'm actually meeting with Mitt Romney tomorrow. If you send it to me, I'll get the video of this family that needs help tomorrow. I said, great, let's do it. Through a series of events and through a series of people, we were able to help get 4 people out of Afghanistan before the borders closed and right after the borders closed. Did I personally get people out of Afghanistan? No. I had a very small piece of that, but a very important piece of that. That's the power of quantum connections. Brent Crabtree at Connector talks about the power of quantum connections. That is a quantum connection. John Warnock is the founder of Adobe, like PDF, Adobe Acrobat, Adobe. That's John Warnock. He was recruited by my grandfather to learn about computer graphics at the University of Utah in 1965. So my grandfather is his mentor. And I'm writing a book, I'm working on a project, getting to try and interview all of these amazing business leaders that my grandfather mentored. And guess how I got a hold of John Warnock? For years, I was like, who knows John Warnock? I need a connection to John Warnock. And I had a friend who's like, oh, I'm best friends with his wife, and he is at a hotel in Park City right now. So I wrote a letter to a hotel in Park City saying, hi, John, my name is Sarah. It's kind of weird. I'm stalking you and I know where you're staying, but I'm David's granddaughter and I would love to talk to you. And you know what he did? He wrote me a 5-page email all about the influence that my grandfather had on computer graphics. And he said, I can get you in touch with the founder of Firefox, the guy that made the mouse. I can help you with the guy that started Pixar, because all of those people were my grandfather's students as well. How did I do that? It was the power of the quantum connections and the relationships that I had built through networking. So I invite you to join us. So what does it cost to join? There are 2 different options to join our mastermind. I wanted to make it affordable. I wanted every woman to have the opportunity. You can pay annually or you could pay monthly. And I've included 2 options. One option includes the retreats in the cost. So you're paying for the retreat all year long. So it's just included in the cost. And the other option does not include the retreats. We have had some women in the past that didn't feel like they could, either because of COVID or other personal reasons. And so if you choose to pay annually, the full annual, like you've got the 24 masterminds and the 2 retreats, the value is $41.65. And I've discounted at 30%. So it's $29.97 if you pay in full. 30% discount, which is awesome. If you pay in full just for the mastermind calls, but don't come to the retreats, it's $19.97. So you're getting $1,000 off. It's $29.64 value, and you get it for $19.97. And I'll show you guys a picture of this so you guys can see this in just a minute. If your cash flow makes more sense to invest monthly and you want to join us, but you don't want to invest a big lump sum right at the beginning, it's $497. That includes the mastermind and 2 retreats. Guys, oh my gosh. I love that we can offer such incredible value. Just love it so much. And it's a way that you can invest in your own personal development and get 2 retreats a year. I'm so excited for this. If you want to join our monthly mastermind calls, but don't want to commit to the retreats, it's $247 a month. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I'd love for you guys to do. So you guys can see at the bottom of this form, I'm going to ask everyone to fill out the survey who came today. You got $29.97, $19.97, $347, or $247, depending on what works with your budget and what works with your cash flow. So I'm going to invite you guys all to fill out the survey. I will send you guys the link. I'll actually pop it in the chat, and I will email this as well. But what I would love to hear from you guys is your name, obviously, email, phone number. Just check which one makes sense for you. And then I would love to hear, why would you be a great candidate to be included in this mastermind? This is a really tight group of women, really powerful. So I would love to hear why, what value you see in, and how you see your part playing. If you're a longtime member, if you've been coming, I want to hear what you received out of it, what's been beneficial to you. And then also, if you can't make it work right now, I would love to hear why, just so that I can learn more and use that information to help more people. The women in this group are at or close to or have exceeded $100,000 in revenue. So I would love to hear how close you are to that goal. If you're willing to make that commitment to come, turn on your Zoom calls. And then also, I want to hear what topics you would be fantastic at teaching if you were to lead a group discussion, favorite self-development or business books that we can help enjoy. And then I would love to celebrate your birthday. So I will be sending out that survey, and I invite you guys to fill that out. You guys, thank you so much for joining. If you guys have to hop off, I totally understand. If you can stay on for 3 more minutes, I would love to hear from some of the current members who are in the group what you've loved about the call. So if you guys can stay on a few minutes, I'd love to hear from Laurel. I know Erin's here and Christy's here. So if anybody would like to share what they've enjoyed about the group, I'd invite you to do that.
Yeah, I'll go. I am just like a new business owner, from last year. This has just been my first year, and this group has just helped me so much I've just received so much support. I think the thing I love most about this group is the connection that I've gained. Just being able to get support from other people who are going through it and learning from each other and teaching each other. I've cried with all of you, and I've just celebrated all of you, and we've celebrated each other and supported each other this year, and we all rise together. And so yeah, it's just a very generous group, and Laurel and has just helped me so much, taught me so much, spent time with me and helped me. Christy and Sarah, you guys have just changed my life. So yeah, I think that it's totally worth the investment. And I just love you so much. It's been such an amazing opportunity to be in this group. So thank you, Sarah. And Sarah is so well connected. It's just amazing to be able to have that as a resource as well.
Thank you so much, Erin. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
I love you. I have another meeting. I'm so sorry. I have to
hop off. No, we're over 5. So if you have to hop off, that's great.
Okay. Love you all.
Thank you so much.
Well, and I think I can jump on and just say that I've been in since the inception of doing this. So when Sarah came up with the idea, I was like, sign me up. I'm the first there. Right. And it's always wonderful to be greeted by her seemingly endless enthusiasm. And yet also how real she is, as well as, with challenges in our lives. And I was always looking for, I'm in coaching and other things, and I have lots of other mastermind groups that are all real estate people, but there is something about the diversity of this group, and yet it is all women, right? So I don't know how to say it other than there's a special power here that just I haven't experienced elsewhere. And as far as being able to network, I've used Sarah for doing websites, and then she's also helped me to create online guides that I've done. I've hired Big Magnetic Online when she was here, and we put together guides and funnels and things. And Erin is my health coach, and I've lost 50 pounds with using Erin's coaching. So there's that. And Laurel has helped me get over crazy things that I never even knew that I had issues with, so past trauma of falls that I didn't even know were impacting my daily life. And I even hired Emily in our group to be able to do my photography, and it's changed everything to be able to have that type of thing. So anyway, I don't know. I could rave all about every woman in this group because I think everyone brings something very special and very unique, even if there's some duplication in services. It, like you said before, it's just everyone has their little niche, and it takes time to get to know one another. It takes time to be committed online and participate in the monthly calls, the twice a month calls, to really develop those relationships. And quite frankly, the retreat is where it happens, right?
Yeah.
So anyway,
thank you so much. I love you, Christy. You're amazing. Awesome. Laurel, do you want to share anything to close us off?
Just really briefly, anytime I have had I need this, all I do is come to this group and someone has a resource. Christy has helped me find venues. Sarah is constantly helping with copy. When I started this, I was a 2-person team, and now I have 6 full-time employees that my company is working with. I mean, it's not just a feel-good group. It's we're here to support you, and that support could be physical, emotional, resources, availability, information. It's everything. And not one morning that I have got on this call have I regretted it or felt like it was not worth every second that I've been on the call.
It's like, yay, it's Wednesday morning. And then the conversations we have, the last month's worth of conversations we've have been incredible. It's so powerful. You guys, thank you for staying late. I know that we're just a few minutes past 10 o'clock, and I want to respect your time. Thank you so much for being here. So I would love for you guys to get feedback and to fill out that survey. If you guys have questions, you want to do a one-on-one, if you want to learn more about the group, feel free to schedule an appointment on my website at johnbojan.com. I will send out an email with a recap. I recorded the call, so you guys are welcome to revisit that. And then I'll send out the invitation for next, in 2 weeks from today. The November retreat is the 3rd to the 6th. We're actually staying in Hurricane, and we're going to Zion's Canyon. We are creating reels in Zion's Canyon. We are doing kintsugi, which I'm so excited, is broken Japanese pottery. We're doing watercolor, and the theme is called butterfly language. It's hard to speak butterfly language to caterpillar people. So this retreat's all about learning to speak butterfly language. We're hiking, we're eating yummy food, and I hope you guys can join us. So thanks you guys so much for being here, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Do you